Hi, everybody. So happy Wednesday. I'm just hopping on here to do our live. I know it's been a couple weeks since we saw each other, and I was working on a rugby team on Saturday, and I had so many knee surgeries in these guys. Like 4 people came to me that had in the past year an ACL repair. And so they had incision on the front of the knee in various places because a lot of those are done laparoscopically. And then we all see knee replacements with our older patients a lot of times. And so I wanted to today, because it was just fresh on my mind, focus on treating knees and especially post-surgical knees, right? So obviously the way we're going to deal with a post-surgical knee is first we're going to try to do some scar release. And scar release is, if you haven't had the class, it's really amazing. I mean, you can treat the central and distal points, and if you haven't cleared out the scars, that stagnation around the scar, hi Jennifer, hi guys, welcome, is going to remain. And if you don't treat the fascial circuits after you've released the scar, and also approach some of the nervous system stuff, it's a whole package, right? What we end up learning through Dolphin as we take the various classes is how everything fits together so that you can come up with a protocol to address things from all different angles. And I just do little tidbits, right? I get you guys kind of appetizers, if you will, or amuse-bouche of things that you can do to approach different problems. And a lot of times it's just what's been going on in my day or my week and what that's reminding me to talk about with y'all. And so today it's knee surgery. If it's a total knee replacement or like an ACL repair or something like that, I will still probably approach it in a similar fashion, okay? I'm going to treat the incision scars from the surgery first, even if it's an old surgery. A lot of the guys I was seeing on Saturday, I mean, let me tell you, rugby is brutal. I guess everybody knew that, but I hadn't really watched it before. And they were asking me to come out and be like their team medic and tape them and help with their cramps and things like that. So everybody was getting Dolphin whether they wanted it or not. And you know, the girls won the game, so that was good, and the guys lost, but here, you know, whatever. But I will say, I was just shocked by how intense it can be. So there was that. But a lot of them had a knee ACL repair of some sort. And so the way I would approach it is to treat the scar first. And with an ACL repair, a lot of times you're going to see, oh, I can't see very well. I was wondering if I could show you guys a picture. No, maybe not. Well, ACL scar pattern, I'm going to show you on my own knee, right? So a lot of times with the ACL scar pattern, you're going to see an incision on the upper part, and then there'll be little satellite incisions on either side of the knee, and then usually one down here near the tibia too. And the way we're going to treat those scars is we're going to treat each scar individually using scar release protocol, which means we'll have 1 unit on negative and 1 on biphasic. And I'm going to come in and imagine there's like a 1.5 or 2 inch incision up here. I'm just going to follow that incision line all the way down from top to bottom, those 2 inches, and I'm going to hold each point like 20 to 30 seconds. Right, Jennifer, you're right. It does look worse than football in a way. I think it's just maybe like the energetic tone of it even. So then after I make a pass along the incision line, pretty close in, right? I'm gonna cap the ends at the top and bottom. And remember, I have 1 unit on negative and 1 on plus minus. I'll hold that for a good 30 seconds. And then I'm gonna come back to the incision line again, and I'm gonna treat a little bit further apart along that incision line. Now guess what? My left knee has had some injuries. Do you think treating a scar, even if I don't have an incision there, might be helpful for an old injury? 100% it's good, okay? So remember that injuries can have scar tissue too. It doesn't have to be a visible line. You could be treating over an area you think might have been injured before. Look at my hair, it's wild. I'm going to the salon today. This afternoon I have an appointment. After I make the second pass, I'm gonna cap the ends again at the top and bottom of the incision line. I know it's a little hard to see. That's my second pass. I'm holding my points for 30 seconds. The great thing about this so far is I haven't had to look for any points, right? I'm just going along visually around the area of concern. Now I'm gonna make my last pass across this 2 inches, and I'm gonna move just a little bit further apart now. There'll be a replay after this. This will be posted once the live is done, and it's available for like 30 days. And remember, when you're treating scar, you're holding the points for 20 to 30 seconds at each point. I haven't really had any areas I've avoided doing scar release, Dory. I've treated a scar on just about every part of the body. Episiotomy, testicular torsion repair. I'm trying to think of weird scars. Inside the mouth. I used a probe, obviously. We, in the scar class, teach a little bit about tonsil scar release. Deep adhesion release, we teach that in the class too. So, imagine this incision was here. I've made 3 passes. I cap the ends after each pass. And then something I want to do is take the one on biphasic, place it on the incision or scar area, and then I'm going to move down to my medial ankle to spleen 6. So I'm going to measure 4 fingers up from my medial malleolus and angle it a little bit towards the tibia. And there's the point. So I'm going to circuit that point with the scar. I'm going to keep 1 unit on the scar area and 1 on spleen 6. This is electrically reconnecting the scar. Remember, energy can get stagnant around scar tissue, lymph gets blocked. This point is a water point. It's going to help push circulation, lymphatics, and everything and move them. So it's a great way to finish out the local scar treatment that we're doing, right? So we've treated that scar. Imagine I had 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here also. What I'm going to do is, in that same pattern, I'm going to treat every scar I find. Here, here, and down here. Then I'm going to take those 4 scars. I'm going to make sure each one gets circuited back to spleen 6. And then finally, I'm just going to take a minute and circuit them to each other. I'm going to keep the units, and then I'm going to reverse it. So the top scar and the side scar go to each other. And then same thing on this side. This is what I was doing for people on the sideline. When I am reconnecting the scar with spleen 6, the biphasic one stays on the scar, the negative goes on spleen 6, guys, okay? When I'm circuiting all the 3 or 4 scars together, I just take turns and circuit them to each other after I've already connected them with spleen 6. I know it gets a little confusing, but just make sure you treat every scar, circuit each one with spleen 6, and when you're treating scars, you want the biphasic one to stay on the scar and the negative one to go on spleen 6. Now, once I finish like clearing out those scars, I will sometimes go back and they've been complaining of a little bit of knee pain and they're getting ready to go out and play, right? I also want to treat the fascial connections around this. So we have fascial circuits that we go over in the scar class that we can finish after our scar treatment to help get a nicer outcome. And so what you can do is look at the different fascial pathways. As a matter of fact, for the knee, we're going to use the superficial fascial line, right? And so for that line, we're going to treat on lung 7, 2 fingers from the base of the thumb, and kidney 6. And kidney 6 helps circulate energy through the middle of the body. And this fascial line happens to go up through the core, but in the meantime, it runs through the knee area and the quad, right? So it's an important fascial line for knee injuries and knee recovery. We're gonna put both of the units on negative for this. Now, how do I figure it out? Because I have to run a circuit on myself. And scar treatment, a lot of times, you're doing it on yourself, right? You might get a dolphin just because you want to treat your own scar. So I know we're supposed to be at rest. It's ideal usually to have somebody else treat you. But I'm going to find this point on my lung 7, right? I'm on the point now. I can hear it. Kidney 6 is located at the bottom of the medial malleolus. Like underneath the tip. If I were to go 2 fingers from the apex of the medial malleolus, let me turn this a little bit. Here, and I'll put my unit right there. That one was turned off for some reason. There's the, oh, it's tender. Okay, so now I've got one placed where it needs to be. And I'm going to put the other one on this one. And they're both on negative. And I can release that superficial fascia line. It's beautiful. The way we can describe this exactly is you're going to slide an index finger down to the lower border of the medial malleolus and then measure like the width of your baby finger below the midpoint of the lower border, and you'll find a slight groove between the 2 prominent tendons. And so on some people, it may not be dead center, it may be a little further back. So get out your acupuncture guide or your doll to help you find that point. Now, I've treated this on this hand and this leg. I'm going to go ahead and kick my other shoe off and do the same thing, right? It's always good if you can do both. I've got my foot in neutral. I'm going to come down to the bottom of my malleolus here, and then about a pinky's width below that, between those 2 tendons that are prominent. And then I'm gonna, I wanna actually treat this hand, so I'm gonna put this one here Almost forgot. And I'll find my lung 7, kidney 6, and lung 7 on the opposite side now. Again, these are both on negative. And I'm treating right through my sock because it's a really open weave. The tip of my unit goes right through that sock, no problem. And I can palpate those points. And the unit lets me know when I'm on it. Also, my body lets me know when I'm on it because I can feel the current as it's going. So, just to recap, what we did here was we released all the scars around that ACL repair. If it was a knee replacement, we would have one big incision. We could follow that all the way down for our 3 passes and then electrically reconnect it. And still, you're going to treat that superficial fascial line, which were those circuits I just showed you. And then if they're still having a little bit of knee issues, I like to also treat for standard protocol in the lower back, because all lower extremity stuff, sorry, somebody's spam call. All lower extremity stuff goes back a lot of times to treating centrally, like along the spine. As a chiropractor, I fully endorse that idea, and I love that Dolphin ties in so well with that theory. So I would treat the spine too, clear out the lower back, make sure, and then a lot of times, you know, after you've done the scar release, you've moved around enough of the knee, it's almost like a local treatment too, right? Just for pain relief. Between that and the circuits, and if you add in the shoe points on the lower back, you're going to get a really great outcome. I think your patients will be really happy with how they're feeling. I'm looking forward to making sure that I document this a little bit more, because I am working with a lot of more knee people. So I just want to kind of have more feedback that I can share with you guys, that because I go on my life, you know, just treating person to person, and I don't keep track of a lot of things except in their chart notes, but it's not fresh in my mind, and I want to kind of assemble all my data and kind of help you guys understand what I'm seeing day to day. But if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. That is pretty much how you would approach any ACL, even medial or lateral collateral ligament repair. Most people don't have a lot of posterior cruciate stuff. And if you're finding people have pain at the back of the knee, which is a common complaint because the swelling that happens in the joint tends to put pressure on the back there, a lot of times I'll flip them over. I'll get that standard protocol out of the way, and then I'll make sure I treat some of these points on the back of the knee, like bladder 40 is a really good one I like to incorporate. If you have already treated the front of the knee, make sure you get liver 8 too on the back of the knee when you're treating for that pain back there. And then sometimes I just put the units on negative all around the tender spots on people. So it's almost like a combination scar release and pain relief treatment all in one, especially when I know they're going to be exercising at that level after they've already had a surgery within the past year. So this will be posted, I think, for up to 30 days on the Dolphin page, and I will check in. I usually check in within the first few days and just make sure we have any answers. I am headed off for the weekend to do some training, actually for Dolphin with some of their instructors. So you might guys see some fun social media posts because we're all going to be together, which is exciting. And other than that, hopefully I don't freeze. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in a week or so. Take care.